Welcome! Today we'll learn how to find the ratio of red apples to green apples and select the correct answer from multiple choices. Let's look at our apples. We have 4 red apples here, and we have 3 green apples here. Let's count them carefully. For the red apples, 1, 2, 3, 4. For the green apples, 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 red apples and 3 green apples. To write this as a ratio of red apples to green apples, we write the number of red apples first, then the number of green apples. So that's 4 to 3. Now let's look at our options. A, 4 to 3B, 3 to 4C, 4 to 7D, 7 to 3. Let's analyze each option. Option A, 4 to 3 matches our count exactly, 4 red and 3 green. Option B, 3 to 4 has the numbers reversed, so that's incorrect. Option C, 4 to 7 has the wrong total number of apples. Option D, 7 to 3, also has the wrong total number of apples. Therefore, the correct ratio of red apples to green apples is 4 to 3, which is option A. Remember, when finding ratios, always count carefully and make sure you're putting the numbers in the correct order. Welcome! Today we'll solve the equation. 20% of x equals 80. Let's write this out and solve it step by step. First, let's understand what 20% means. 20% can be written as a decimal by dividing 20 by 100, which gives us 0.2. Now we can rewrite our equation using this decimal. 0.2 times x equals 80. To solve for x, we need to divide both sides by 0.2. This gives us x equals 80 divided by 0.2. Let me show you a trick to divide by a decimal. When dividing by 0.2, we can multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10 to eliminate the decimal. This is the same as moving the decimal point one place to the right. Now we can easily divide 800 by 2. This gives us x equals 400. Let's verify our answer by plugging it back into the original equation. 20% of 400 should equal 80. 0.2 times 400 equals 80. So our answer is correct. Looking at our options, A, 800, B, 40, C, 4000, or D, 400, we can see that D, 400 is the correct answer. To summarize, we converted 20% to 0.2, multiplied x by 0.2 equals 80, divided both sides by 0.2. Welcome! Today we'll learn how to convert a fraction to a percentage. Let's solve this step by step. Our problem is to convert 2/4 into a percentage. We need to choose from the following options. A, 200%, B, 100%, C, 50%, or D, 500%. To convert a fraction to a percentage, we need to understand that a percentage is actually a fraction out of 100. The word percent literally means per hundred or out of 100. Let me show you 2 ways to convert a fraction to a percentage. Method 1. We can divide the numerator by the denominator and then multiply by 100. Let's apply this to our fraction 2/4. First, we divide 2 by 4, which gives us 0.5. Then we multiply 0.5 by 100, which equals 50. Method 2. We can also convert the fraction to an equivalent fraction with 100 as the denominator. To do this, we multiply both the numerator and denominator by 25 because 25 times 4 equals 100. Let's visualize this with a diagram. Here's a circle divided into 4 equal parts. 2 of these parts are highlighted, representing 2/4. This is equivalent to 50 out of 100 parts, or 50%. Therefore, 2/4 equals 50%. Looking at our options, we can see that the correct answer is C, 50%. To summarize, we can convert a fraction to a percentage by either dividing the numerator by the denominator and multiplying by 100, or converting the fraction to. Let's solve this simple interest problem step by step. Rohit borrows 4,800 rupees at 5% per annum simple interest for 2 years. Let's identify the key information we need. The principal is 4,800 rupees, the rate is 5%, and the time period is 2 years. First, let's calculate the interest using the formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time divided by 100. Let's substitute our values. Let's solve this step by step. First, multiply 4,800 by 5, which gives us 24,000. Then multiply by 2, giving us 48,000. Finally, divide by 100. Now that we have the interest, let's calculate the total amount to be returned. Total amount equals principal plus interest. That's 4,800 plus 480, which equals 5,280 rupees. Looking at our options. A. 480 rupees. This is just the interest, not the total amount. B. 5,280 rupees. This is our answer. C. 5,600 rupees too high. D. 5,040 rupees too low. Therefore, the correct answer is B. 5,000. Let's solve a problem involving ratios. We need to find two numbers in the ratio 3 to 5 that sum to 144, and then identify the larger number. Let's visualize what a ratio of 3 to 5 means. If we have two quantities in a 3 to 5 ratio, it means that for every 3 parts of the first number, we have 5 parts of the second number. Together, these parts represent our total of 144. Let's solve this algebraically. Let's say each part is worth x units. Then the first number would be 3x, and the second number would be 5x. Since we know their sum is 144, we can write 3x plus 5x equals 144. Now, let's solve for x. First, combine like terms on the left side. 3x plus 5x equals 8x. So, 8x equals 144. Dividing both sides by 8, we get x equals 18. Now that we know x equals 18, let's find our two numbers. The first number is 3x, so that's 3 times 18, which is 54. The second number is 5x, so that's 5 times 18, which equals 90. Let's verify our answer. First, let's check if these numbers are in the ratio 3 to 5. 90 divided by 54 equals 5/3, so they are in the correct ratio. And if we add them together, 54 plus 90 equals 144, which matches our target sum. Now looking at our options, A. 54, B. 48, C. 72, or D. 90. Since we're asked to find the larger number, and we calculated that to be 90, the correct answer is D. 90. To summarize, we solved this problem by first, letting x represent one part of the ratio, then expressing our numbers as 3x and 5x. Next, we use the sum to find x, and let's solve a percentage problem about the population distribution in a city. In a city, 30% are females, 40% are males, and the remaining are children. Let's find out what percentage are children. Let's visualize this with a pie chart. Here's the 30% that represents females, here's the 40% that represents males, and the remaining section represents the children. To find the percentage of children, we know that all percentages must add up to 100%. So we can write females plus males plus children equals 100%. Let's plug in what we know. 30% plus 40% plus the unknown percentage of children equals 100%. First, let's add the percentages we know. 30% plus 40% equals 70%. To find the percentage of children, we subtract 70% from 100%. 100% minus 70% equals 30%. Therefore, 30% of the city's population are children. Let's update our pie chart with this information. To summarize, in this city, 30% are females, 40% are males, and 30%. Let's learn how to simplify the ratio 125 to 1,000. To simplify a ratio, we need to find the greatest common factor of both numbers and divide both numbers by it. One way to simplify this ratio is to look for common factors that divide both numbers evenly. First, let's notice that both numbers are divisible by 5. Looking at our new ratio, 25 to 200, we can divide by 5 again. One more time, we can divide both numbers by 5. Now we have our simplified ratio, 1 to 8. Let's verify this is correct by showing that 125 to 1,000 is equivalent to 1 to 8. If we multiply both parts of our ratio by 125, we get. Now let's look at our options. A. 1 to 8, B. 2 to 1, C. 1 to 4, or D. 8 to 1. Since we found that 125 to 1,000 simplifies to 1 to 8, option A is correct. Let's review what we learned. To simplify a ratio, we divide both numbers by their common factors. In this case, we divided by 5 3 times to get from 125 to 1,000 to 1 to 8. We can verify our answer by multiplying both parts. Let's learn how to convert 25% into a decimal number. We'll solve this step by step and then compare our answer with the given options. To convert a percentage to a decimal, we divide the percentage number by 100. This is because the word percent means per hundred. Let's apply this to 25%. We'll take 25 and divide it by 100. To divide by 100, we can move the decimal point 2 places to the left. Since 25 has no decimal point shown, it's at the end. Moving it 2 places left gives us 0.25. Therefore, 25% as a decimal is 0.25. Now let's compare our answer with the given options. Option A is 25. That's too large. Option B is 0.0025. That's too small. Option C is 0.25. That's our answer. Option D is 0.025. That's too small. Therefore, 25% converted to a decimal is 0.25. Let's learn how to convert a decimal to a percentage. Our problem is to convert 0.85 into a percentage. To convert a decimal to a percentage, we multiply the decimal by 100. This is because percent literally means per hundred. Let's visualize this with a number line. Here's 0.85 on a number line from 0 to 1. When we multiply by 100, we're essentially stretching this segment to show it on a scale from 0 to 100. Let's solve this step by step. Step 1, take our decimal 0.85. Step 2, multiply by 100. 0.85 times 100 equals 85. Here's another way to think about it. When we move the decimal point 2 places to the right, it's the same as multiplying by 100. So 0.85 becomes 85. Let's look at our options. A, 85%, B, 850%, C, 8,500%, D. None of the above. The correct answer is a 85%. This is because 0.85 times 100 equals 85. Remember, to convert a decimal to a percentage, either multiply by 100. Welcome! Today we'll solve a problem about the ratio between rupees and pays. We need to find the ratio of 40 pays to 4 rupees and select the correct answer from given options. Let's solve this step by step. First, we need to remember that 1 rupee equals 100 pays. This is our key conversion factor. Step 1, let's convert 4 rupees to pays. If 1 rupee equals 100 pays, then 4 rupees equals 400 pays. Step 2, now we can write our ratio using the same units. We're comparing 40 pays to 400 pays. Step 3, simplify the ratio. We can divide both numbers by their greatest common factor, which is 40. Therefore, the ratio of 40 pays to 4 rupees simplifies to 110. Looking at our options, this corresponds to option A. Let's review what we did. First, we converted rupees to pays using the conversion factor of 100 pays per rupee. Then, we wrote both quantities in pays, giving us 40:400. Finally, we simplified this ratio